I've been reading Dr. Frankl again. He's, I guess, most famous work was Man's Search for Meaning. He spent time in 4 different concentration camps, the first one being Auschwitz. He wrote that we who live in concentration camps knew those men, the men who would go about comforting the others, or who would be willing to give away their last piece of bread. And he said it gave us proof that you can take everything away from a man except one last freedom, and that was his freedom to choose his response to any given circumstance. That hit home to me. In a world these days where it seems like we're being attacked with negativity, maybe on a personal basis you feel it sometimes. It's very easy to get trapped and to go with the flow, to find ourselves negative also, or to be anxious or angry or depressed. I believe that happiness, the choice to choose happiness, is the ultimate act of defiance, because it's right the opposite of everything that's happening around us. It's choosing to stand strong in the storm. Paul talked about that. Paul said that when you've done all you can do to stand, stand. There's something about that courage that we all look for. You can think of stories that you've read, or men and women in your life who faced incredible odds. And then when you think about your life, their life, you don't think about the odds as much as how they stood in the middle of the storm. Or some of us going through some pretty heavy storms these days, and it can be very easy to cave in, and the desire to run or get in a fetal position, or it can be overwhelming sometimes maybe. I think of times in my life when the truth is the stress was so strong I thought of ways to take my own life. It's hard to admit now, but it's the truth. But as I look back, I realized something. It's what the little old lady one time was asked, "What's your favorite verse?" And she says the verse that says, "It came to pass." No matter what I've been through, no matter what you've been through, though it rolled over us, though at the time we thought it was going to smother us, ultimately it came to pass. As testament of that, we stand here today. So we face our things now. We can cower, we can give in to the fear, we can become anxious, which would be the most easy thing to do, or we can instead choose the defiant act of happiness. One last thing, I think about a little boy one time that was afraid. He went to his father. He said, "Dad, would you pray that God keeps me safe?" The dad said, "Son, I can't pray that for you." But he said, "I will pray that God makes you dangerous." The little boy thought, and he said, "Then Dad, would you pray that God makes me very, very dangerous?" What we're looking for these days, I know I'm looking for those people to model, those people who in the middle of a storm stand. Those people in the middle of it all don't find themselves in a fetal position crying and afraid, but instead choose the courageous and the defiant act of happiness, of joy, of realizing that, as Schuller used to say, tough times never last, but tough people do. I challenge you, be defiant.